In a distant corner of the Milky Way galaxy, the Galactic Council convened to discuss the fate of a small, seemingly insignificant planet called Earth. The Council, composed of representatives from the most advanced alien civilizations, had been observing humanity's progress for centuries. They watched as humans struggled through wars, famine, and disease, but also marveled at their relentless pursuit of knowledge and technology. As the council members took their seats, a holographic projection of Earth appeared in the center of the room. The Tzillian ambassador, a tall, slender being with translucent skin, stood up to address the gathering. "Fellow council members," he began, "it has come to our attention that the humans of Earth have made significant advancements in their technology. They have developed weapons capable of destroying entire planets, and their space exploration program is expanding at an alarming rate." Murmurs of concern echoed throughout the chamber. The Zorgian representative, a stout creature with scaly skin and piercing red eyes, spoke next. "The humans are a primitive and volatile species," he growled. "They pose a threat to the stability of the galaxy. We must act now before they become too powerful." The council members nodded in agreement, and a heated debate ensued. Some argued for the complete annihilation of humanity, while others proposed subjugation and enslavement. As the discussions continued, a small group of council members remained silent, their expressions unreadable. Finally, the Tzillian ambassador raised his hand, calling for silence. "I propose an ultimatum," he declared. "We give the humans 30 days to surrender unconditionally. If they refuse, we will unleash the full might of the Galactic Council upon them. They will learn the consequences of defying the will of the universe's most powerful civilizations." The council members murmured their approval, and the decision was made. The Tzillian ambassador turned to face the holographic projection of Earth, his eyes narrowing. "Prepare the message," he commanded. On Earth, life went on as usual. People went about their daily lives, unaware of the impending threat from above. Governments conducted their business, scientists made new discoveries, and the media reported on the latest scandals and triumphs. Suddenly, every screen on the planet flickered to life, displaying a strange alien face. The Tzillian ambassador's voice boomed through the speakers, his words translated into every known language. "People of Earth," he began, "you have been chosen to receive a message from the Galactic Council. Your planet and all its inhabitants are hereby ordered to surrender unconditionally to the Council's authority. You have 30 days to comply. Failure to do so will result in the complete destruction of your world." Panic and chaos erupted across the globe as the message repeated itself over and over again. World leaders scrambled to make sense of the situation, while the public demanded answers. The ultimatum had been delivered, and the clock was ticking. In the depths of space, the Galactic Council watched and waited. They had delivered their message, and now it was up to the humans to decide their fate. The Tzillian ambassador leaned back in his seat, a small smile playing on his lips. "Let us see how these primitive creatures respond to our demands," he mused. "Will they submit to our authority, or will they foolishly resist and face the consequences?" The stage was set for a battle that would determine the future of humanity and its place in the galaxy. The Galactic Council's ultimatum had been issued, and the humans of Earth had 30 days to make their choice. Would they surrender and live under alien rule, or would they fight for their freedom and risk everything in the process? Only time would tell, as the fate of an entire species hung in the balance. As the Galactic Council's ultimatum reverberated across the Earth, the leaders of the world's nations found themselves in a state of shock and disbelief. The idea of an alien civilization demanding unconditional surrender seemed like something out of a science fiction novel, yet the truth stared them in the face. The clock was ticking, and humanity had to make a choice. In an unprecedented move, the United Nations called for an emergency summit to discuss the impending threat. World leaders from every corner of the globe gathered in New York City, their differences set aside in the face of a common enemy. The meeting hall buzzed with tension and uncertainty as the delegates took their seats. The Secretary General of the United Nations, a tall, distinguished woman with a steely gaze, took the podium. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, her voice steady and resolute, "we stand at a crossroads in human history. An alien power has demanded our surrender, threatening the very existence of our species. We must decide, here and now, how we will respond to this ultimatum." Silence fell over the room as the weight of her words sank in. Then a cacophony of voices erupted as leaders began to express their opinions. Some called for immediate surrender, arguing that resistance against a superior alien force was futile. Others demanded that humanity stand its ground and fight for its freedom, no matter the cost. As the debate raged on, a small group of leaders huddled together, their faces etched with determination. Among them was the President of the United States, a charismatic figure known for his unwavering resolve. "We cannot bow to the demands of an alien oppressor," he declared, his voice rising above the din. "Humanity has faced countless challenges throughout its history, and we have always emerged stronger. We must unite and fight for our right to exist on our own terms." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the room, and slowly a consensus began to form. The leaders of the world's nations agreed that surrender was not an option. They would resist the Galactic Council's ultimatum and prepare for the battle ahead. The decision made, the world's governments sprang into action. Scientists and military experts from across the globe were brought together to devise strategies and develop new technologies to counter the alien threat. In secret underground facilities, work began on advanced weaponry and defense systems, designed to give humanity a fighting chance against the superior technology of the Galactic Council. As the days ticked by, the people of Earth watched and waited, their hearts filled with a mixture of fear and determination. News outlets kept the public informed of the progress being made, while social media buzzed with speculation and rumors. Some took to the streets in protest, demanding that their leaders reconsider the decision to resist, while others rallied in support of the fight for humanity's freedom. Amidst the chaos, a group of unlikely heroes emerged. A brilliant astrophysicist, a decorated military strategist, and a resourceful hacker found themselves at the center of the resistance efforts. Each brought their unique skills and knowledge to the table, working tirelessly to unravel the secrets of the alien technology and find weaknesses in the Galactic Council's defenses. As the 30-day deadline approached, humanity held its breath. The stage was set for a battle that would determine the fate of an entire species. The people of Earth had made their choice, and they would not go quietly into the night. They would fight for their right to exist, to chart their own destiny among the stars. In the depths of space, the Galactic Council watched and waited, their fleet poised to strike at a moment's notice. The Xilian ambassador smiled coldly, his eyes fixed on the holographic projection of Earth. "So, the humans have chosen defiance," he mused. "Let us see how long their resolve lasts when faced with the might of the universe's most powerful civilizations." The countdown to the invasion had begun, and humanity braced itself for the fight of its life. As the 30-day ultimatum expired, the people of Earth held their collective breath, waiting for the inevitable arrival of the alien invasion force. The skies remained clear, and an eerie silence settled over the planet, as if the universe itself was holding its breath in anticipation. Suddenly, the calm was shattered by the appearance of massive alien ships in the Earth's orbit. The vessels were unlike anything humanity had ever seen, their sleek, metallic surfaces shimmering in the sunlight. The ships were enormous, dwarfing even the largest human-made structures, and their presence sent a wave of fear rippling across the globe. In the command centers of the world's militaries, alarms blared as the alien fleet began its approach. Radar screens lit up with countless contacts, each one representing a potential threat to Earth's survival. The military leaders scrambled to mobilize their forces, deploying fighter jets, warships, and ground troops to key locations around the planet. The first wave of alien attacks came swiftly and without warning. Brilliant beams of energy rained down from the sky, targeting major cities and military installations. Buildings crumbled, and the streets were filled with chaos as panicked citizens fled for their lives. The human defense forces fought back valiantly, their advanced weaponry and tactics proving to be a match for the alien technology. In the skies above Earth, a fierce aerial battle erupted between human fighter jets and alien craft. The human pilots, trained to the highest standards and equipped with the latest technology, engaged the enemy with skill and determination. The alien ships were fast and maneuverable, but the human pilots were creative and adaptive, using their knowledge of Earth's terrain and weather patterns to their advantage. On the ground, the situation was no less intense. Alien troops, clad in advanced armor and wielding energy weapons, poured out of landing craft and into the streets of Earth's cities. The human military met them head-on, engaging in fierce urban combat. The sound of gunfire and explosions filled the air, as soldiers on both sides fought for every inch of ground. Amidst the chaos, stories of heroism and sacrifice began to emerge. A group of civilians banded together to defend their neighborhood, using improvised weapons and tactics to hold off the alien invaders. A lone soldier, cut off from his unit, single-handedly took down an alien tank, saving countless lives in the process. These tales of bravery and resilience spread like wildfire, inspiring hope in the hearts of those who heard them. As the battle raged on, the brilliant astrophysicist and her team worked tirelessly to analyze the alien technology, searching for any weaknesses that could be exploited. They pored over data from the battlefield, studying the enemy's weapons and tactics, looking for patterns and vulnerabilities. The military strategist, a grizzled veteran of countless conflicts, worked closely with the world's leaders to coordinate the defense efforts. He devised bold plans and daring strategies, always staying one step ahead of the alien invaders. The resourceful hacker, meanwhile, worked to infiltrate the alien communication networks, gathering valuable intelligence and sowing confusion among the enemy ranks. Despite the valiant efforts of Earth's defenders, the situation looked grim. The alien forces were relentless, their numbers seemingly endless. Cities fell, and the death toll mounted with each passing day. The people of Earth, once united in their defiance, began to lose hope as the reality of their situation sank in. But even in the darkest of times, the human spirit refused to be extinguished. The leaders of the resistance, the unlikely heroes who had emerged in humanity's hour of need, refused to give up. They knew that somewhere, hidden within the alien technology and the chaos of the battlefield, lay the key to victory. They just had to find it. As the battle for Earth entered its most critical phase, the fate of humanity hung in the balance. The alien invasion had begun, and the fight for survival had reached its apex. The people of Earth, united in their determination to protect their home and their way of life, prepared themselves for the long and difficult struggle ahead. The Galactic Council had underestimated the strength and resilience of the human spirit, and now, the true test of humanity's mettle had begun. As the battle against the alien invaders raged on, the brilliant astrophysicist and her team worked tirelessly to unravel the secrets of the enemy's technology. They studied the wreckage of downed alien ships, analyzing the advanced materials and energy systems that powered them. It was during one of these investigations that they made a startling discovery. Hidden deep within the alien technology was a new form of energy, unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. The astrophysicist, her eyes widening with realization, immediately grasped the significance of this finding. This energy, if harnessed correctly, could be the key to turning the tide of the war. The team worked day and night, racing against the clock to develop a way to utilize this newfound power. They experimented with various methods, testing and refining their designs, until finally, they had a breakthrough. They had created a weapon that could neutralize the aliens' advanced technology, rendering their ships and weapons useless. The news of this development spread like wildfire through the resistance ranks. The military strategist, recognizing the potential of this new weapon, immediately began to incorporate it into his battle plans. The resourceful hacker, meanwhile, worked to infiltrate the alien communication networks, planting false information about the weapon's capabilities to sow confusion and doubt among the enemy. As the first prototypes of the new weapon were deployed on the battlefield, the tide of the war began to turn. Human soldiers, armed with this secret weapon, were able to take down alien ships and troops with ease. The alien invaders, caught off guard by this sudden shift in the balance of power, began to falter. In the skies above Earth, human fighter jets equipped with the new technology engaged the alien craft in fierce dogfights. The alien ships, once seemingly invincible, found themselves outmatched and outmaneuvered. Human pilots, their confidence bolstered by their new advantage, pushed the enemy back, reclaiming the skies one battle at a time. On the ground, the story was much the same. Human troops, now armed with weapons that could neutralize the aliens' advanced armor and energy shields, began to reclaim lost territory. The alien invaders, their numbers dwindling and their morale shattered, began to retreat. The people of Earth, seeing the tide turning in their favor, rallied behind their defenders. They took to the streets, cheering on the soldiers and celebrating each victory. The once despondent population now found itself filled with a renewed sense of hope and determination. The leaders of the resistance, buoyed by their success, pressed their advantage. They launched daring raids on alien supply lines, cutting off the enemy's access to critical resources. They used the hackers' intelligence to anticipate the aliens' moves, always staying one step ahead. As the weeks turned into months, the alien invaders found themselves pushed back on all fronts. Their once invincible fleet lay in ruins, their troops scattered and demoralized. The Galactic Council, watching from their distant outpost, began to realize the gravity of their mistake. They had underestimated the strength and resilience of the human spirit, and now they were paying the price. The Tzillian ambassador, his face twisted with rage and frustration, demanded that the Council send reinforcements to crush the human resistance once and for all. But even as he spoke, he knew it was too late. The humans had proven themselves to be a force to be reckoned with, and the Council's window of opportunity had closed. On Earth, the people celebrated their victories, but they knew the war was far from over. The alien invaders, though weakened, still posed a threat, and the resistance knew they could not afford to let their guard down. They continued to train, to plan, and to fight, driven by the knowledge that their survival depended on their ability to adapt and overcome. The secret weapon had given humanity a fighting chance, but it was the strength and determination of the human spirit that would ultimately decide the fate of the planet. The people of Earth, united in their resolve, prepared themselves for the long and difficult road ahead. They had proven that they would not go quietly into the night, and they would continue to fight for their right to exist, no matter the cost. With the secret weapon in hand and a renewed sense of hope, the human resistance launched a massive counterattack against the alien invaders. The military strategist, his eyes gleaming with determination, had devised a bold plan to take the fight to the enemy. The human forces, now equipped with the new technology that could neutralize the aliens' advanced weaponry, were ready to strike back. The counterattack began with a series of coordinated strikes on key alien strongholds. Human fighter jets, armed with the secret weapon, struck deep into enemy territory, taking out critical infrastructure and supply lines. On the ground, human troops launched daring raids on alien outposts, using their new advantage to catch the enemy off guard. The alien invaders, still reeling from the sudden shift in the balance of power, were caught unprepared for the ferocity of the human assault. They found themselves outmatched and outmaneuvered at every turn, their once invincible technology rendered useless by the humans' secret weapon. In the skies above Earth, massive dogfights erupted as human and alien craft clashed in a desperate struggle for supremacy. The human pilots, their skills honed by months of constant battle, flew with a newfound sense of purpose and determination. They pushed their machines to the limit, executing daring maneuvers and impossible feats of flying. On the ground, the battle was no less intense. Human soldiers, armed with the latest in weaponry and tactical gear, engaged the alien troops in fierce close-quarters combat. The fighting was brutal and unrelenting, with both sides suffering heavy losses. But the humans, driven by their love for their planet and their way of life, refused to give an inch. As the counterattack gained momentum, stories of heroism and sacrifice began to emerge from the battlefield. A group of soldiers, outnumbered and outgunned, held off an alien assault for hours, buying time for civilians to escape. The lone pilot, his aircraft damaged beyond repair, sacrificed himself to take out an alien command ship. These tales of bravery and selflessness spread through the ranks, inspiring the human forces to even greater heights of courage and determination. The brilliant astrophysicist and her team continued to work tirelessly, refining and improving the secret weapon. They analyzed data from the battlefield, looking for ways to make the technology even more effective against the alien threat. The resourceful hacker, meanwhile, continued to infiltrate the alien communication networks, gathering valuable intelligence and sowing chaos among the enemy ranks. As the weeks turned into months, the tide of the war began to turn in humanity's favor. The alien invaders, their forces depleted and their morale shattered, began to retreat. The human resistance, emboldened by their successes, pressed their advantage, pushing the enemy back at every turn. The Galactic Council, watching from their distant outpost, realized that they had made a grave miscalculation. They had underestimated the strength and resilience of the human spirit, and now they were paying the price. The Tzillian ambassador, his face twisted with rage and frustration, demanded that the Council send more reinforcements to crush the human resistance once and for all. But even as he spoke, he knew it was too late. On Earth, the people celebrated their victories, but they knew the war was far from over. The alien invaders, though weakened, still posed a threat, and the resistance knew they could not afford to let their guard down. They continued to train, to plan, and to fight, driven by the knowledge that their survival depended on their ability to adapt and overcome. As the counterattack reached its crescendo, the human forces prepared for the final push. They knew that the coming battles would be the hardest they had ever faced, but they were ready. They had proven that they would not go quietly into the night, and they would continue to fight for their right to exist, no matter the cost. The secret weapon had given humanity a fighting chance, but it was the strength and courage of the human spirit that would ultimately decide the fate of the planet. The people of Earth, united in their resolve, prepared themselves for the final showdown. They had come too far to turn back now, and they would see this war through to the end, no matter what challenges lay ahead. As the war against the alien invaders reached a critical juncture, the leaders of the human resistance knew that they needed more than just advanced weapons to achieve victory. They needed intelligence, a glimpse into the enemy's plans and motivations. It was then that a daring plan was hatched, a mission to infiltrate the alien command ship and gather crucial information. A small team of elite human operatives was assembled, each member chosen for their unique skills and expertise. Among them were a battle-hardened soldier, a brilliant hacker, and a cunning spy. They were the best of the best, and they knew that the fate of humanity rested on their shoulders. The infiltration began with a series of carefully orchestrated distractions. Human forces launched a massive assault on the aliens' outer defenses, drawing their attention away from the command ship. Meanwhile, the elite team, using stolen alien technology and disguises, managed to slip aboard the massive vessel undetected. Once inside, the team split up, each member tasked with a specific objective. The soldier was to secure their escape route, while the hacker worked to penetrate the ship's computer systems. The spy, meanwhile, was to gather as much intelligence as possible, using their skills in stealth and subterfuge to avoid detection. As the team made their way deeper into the heart of the alien command ship, they encountered resistance at every turn. Alien guards patrolled the corridors, their weapons at the ready. The hacker, using their skills to tap into the ship's security systems, managed to guide the team past the worst of the defenses, but it was a constant battle to stay one step ahead of the enemy. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of close calls and narrow escapes, the team reached the ship's central computer core. It was here that they hit the jackpot. A treasure trove of information about the aliens' plans, their technology, and their weaknesses. The hacker, their fingers flying over the alien keyboard, managed to download the data onto a portable storage device. But their success was short-lived. Just as they were preparing to make their escape, alarms began to blare throughout the ship. The alien guards, alerted to the team's presence, began to close in from all sides. The soldier, using their combat skills to buy time for the others, engaged the enemy in a fierce firefight. The team, now fighting for their lives, made a desperate run for their escape route. They battled their way through hordes of alien soldiers, using every weapon and tactic at their disposal. The hacker, using their skills to jam the aliens' communication systems, managed to sow confusion and chaos among the enemy ranks. Finally, after a harrowing journey through the bowels of the alien command ship, the team managed to reach their escape craft. They blasted their way out of the ship's hangar bay, dodging enemy fire and debris as they made their way back to Earth. Once safely back on the ground, the team delivered their precious cargo to the leaders of the resistance. The information they had gathered was invaluable. It revealed critical weaknesses in the aliens' defenses, as well as clues to their ultimate motivations. With this knowledge in hand, the human forces could now plan their final assault on the enemy. The infiltration of the alien command ship had been a resounding success, but it had come at a heavy cost. Many brave men and women had given their lives to make it possible, and the team knew that their sacrifices would not be forgotten. As the news of the team's success spread throughout the resistance, a new sense of hope and determination took hold. The human forces, armed with the knowledge they needed to defeat the alien invaders once and for all, began to prepare for the final battle. The end was in sight, but the road ahead would be long and difficult. The alien forces, now aware of the humans' newfound knowledge, would be more determined than ever to crush the resistance. But the humans, united in their resolve and armed with the strength of their convictions, were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. They had come too far to turn back now, and they would see this war through to the end, no matter the cost. With the invaluable information gleaned from the daring infiltration of the alien command ship, the human resistance began to plan their final assault against the invaders. The military strategist, armed with a wealth of new intelligence, worked tirelessly to devise a plan that would strike at the heart of the enemy's forces. The plan was audacious, a coordinated attack on multiple fronts that would stretch the aliens' defenses to their breaking point. The human forces would launch simultaneous assaults on key alien strongholds, drawing their attention away from the main objective. A massive strike against the aliens' main fleet, which was still orbiting the Earth. The preparations for the final battle were intense. Human soldiers drilled tirelessly, honing their skills and mastering the use of the new weapons that had been developed using the aliens' own technology. Pilots ran countless simulations, familiarizing themselves with the enemy's tactics and the capabilities of their own upgraded spacecraft. As the day of the final assault drew near, a sense of tension and anticipation gripped the human forces. They knew that this was their last chance, that the fate of the entire planet rested on the outcome of the coming battle. But they were ready, armed with the knowledge and the determination to see this fight through to the end. The assault began with a massive barrage of missiles and energy weapons targeted at the aliens' main fleet. The human forces, using the intelligence gathered from the infiltration, knew exactly where to strike to cause maximum damage. The alien ships, caught off guard by the sudden attack, reeled under the onslaught. But the aliens were quick to respond. Their own weapon systems came online, and soon the skies above the Earth were filled with the flashes of energy weapons and the trails of missiles. Human and alien spacecraft clashed in a desperate struggle for supremacy, while on the ground, human soldiers engaged the enemy in fierce close-quarters combat. The battle raged for hours, with both sides taking heavy losses. The human forces, driven by the knowledge that they were fighting for the survival of their species, fought with a ferocity and determination that the aliens had never encountered before. They pushed forward, inch by inch, slowly but surely gaining ground against the invaders. As the battle reached its climax, the human forces unleashed their secret weapon, a massive EMP device that had been developed using the aliens' own technology. The device, detonated in the heart of the alien fleet, sent out a massive pulse of energy that fried the enemy's electronics and rendered their ships helpless. The alien forces, suddenly finding themselves without the advanced technology that had given them their edge, began to falter. The human forces, seizing the opportunity, pressed their advantage, pouring all of their remaining resources into one final desperate push. In the end, it was the strength and determination of the human spirit that proved decisive. The alien forces, their morale shattered and their forces in disarray, began to retreat. The human soldiers, exhausted but triumphant, watched as the enemy spacecraft fled the Earth's orbit, disappearing into the depths of space. The final battle had been won, but at a terrible cost. The Earth lay in ruins, its cities shattered and its population decimated. But the human spirit, battered but unbroken, had emerged victorious. The alien invaders had been defeated, and the people of Earth were free to rebuild and start anew. As the dust settled and the smoke cleared, the leaders of the human resistance emerged to address the survivors. They spoke of the sacrifices that had been made, of the brave men and women who had given their lives to defend their planet. They spoke of the challenges that lay ahead, of the long road to recovery and rebuilding. But they also spoke of hope, of the unbreakable spirit of humanity that had carried them through this darkest of times. They spoke of a future where the people of Earth would stand tall and proud, united in their determination to build a better world. The final battle had been fought, and humanity had emerged victorious. But the struggle was far from over. The people of Earth knew that they would face many more challenges in the years to come, but they were ready to face them head-on, armed with the knowledge and the strength that they had gained through their trials. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity would never again be subjugated by any force, alien or otherwise. They had fought for their freedom, and they would defend it to their last breath. In the aftermath of the great battle, the people of Earth emerged from their shelters to a world forever changed. The once great cities lay in ruins, the landscape scarred by the fierce fighting that had raged across the planet. But even amidst the destruction, there was a sense of hope, a feeling that humanity had finally turned a corner and that a new era was dawning. The leaders of the resistance, now hailed as heroes by the people they had fought to protect, set about the task of rebuilding. They knew that the road ahead would be long and difficult, that there would be many challenges to overcome. But they were determined to build a better world, one where humanity could thrive and prosper. As the weeks turned into months, the people of Earth began to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives. They cleared the rubble from the streets, rebuilt their homes and businesses, and started to plant the seeds of a new society. The technology and knowledge that had been gained from the alien invaders was put to good use as humanity began to rebuild its infrastructure and economy. The Galactic Council, chastened by their defeat at the hands of the humans, began to rethink their approach to the other races of the galaxy. They knew that they could no longer rely on brute force and intimidation to maintain their power, that they would need to find a new way to coexist with the other species of the universe. As for the humans, they had emerged from the war stronger and more united than ever before. The once disparate nations of Earth had come together in the face of a common enemy, and that sense of unity had endured long after the fighting had ended. The people of Earth knew that they had something special, a resilience and determination that set them apart from any other species in the galaxy. In the years that followed, humanity began to take its first tentative steps into the wider universe. They established colonies on other worlds, forged alliances with other races, and began to explore the vast reaches of space. They knew that there were still many dangers out there, that the universe was a vast and unpredictable place, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, armed with the knowledge and the strength that they had gained through their trials. As the people of Earth looked to the stars, they knew that they were not alone. They had faced the worst that the universe had to offer, and they had emerged victorious. They had proven that humanity was a force to be reckoned with, that they would not be subjugated or intimidated by any power, no matter how great. And so, as the people of Earth set out to take their place among the stars, they did so with a sense of pride and purpose. They knew that they were the inheritors of a great legacy, that they had been tested in the crucible of war and had emerged stronger and more united than ever before. They knew that the future was theirs to shape, and they were determined to build a better world, not just for themselves, but for all the races of the galaxy. As the ships of the human fleet set out into the vast reaches of space, the people of Earth knew that they were embarking on a journey that would change the course of history. They had fought for their right to exist, for their place in the universe, and now they were ready to take their rightful place among the stars. The war had been long and brutal, and the scars it had left would never fully heal. But the people of Earth knew that they had emerged from the conflict stronger and more determined than ever before. They had faced the worst that the universe had to offer, and they had emerged victorious. They had proven that humanity was a force to be reckoned with, and they would never again be subjugated by any power, no matter how great. As the ships of the human fleet disappeared into the depths of space, the people of Earth knew that they were setting out on a journey that would change the course of history. They had fought for their right to exist, for their place in the universe, and now they were ready to take their rightful place among the stars. The future was theirs to shape, and they were determined to build a better world, for themselves and for all the races of the galaxy. Humanity had triumphed, and the universe would never be the same again.